We know that South African Airways is very reputable as one of the major airlines in Africa. However, the airline have had a downfall at some point in time. What led to the downfall, and what lessons have you drawn from this experience?
Partly is because the airline was over-reliant on external financial support from the government, the shareholder. And there were frequent changes in the leadership of South African Airways, where there was no a grounded long-term strategy. Because for an airline, you need a long-term strategy all the time, of between at least 5 years. You need to think 5, 10, 15 years, even to 20 years to be a successful airline, because the major equipment that we use, which is aircraft, have a lifetime of about 30 years. So as embedded in the center of the operating model of an airline is its fleet strategy. And that fleet strategy has to be based as to when do you purchase new aircraft, when do you modernize your fleet, and what average fleet age you want to maintain. For instance, if you want to say as an airline, you want to have a 12-year average age of your aircraft, means you must change aircraft every 12 years. So you'll need a strategy that says you must think 15 years beyond that. So that was one weakness. The second one, widely publicized, South Africa has gone through a painful period of just a culture of corruption within the political system, which weakened the governance of South African Airways. The responsibilities of the board to ensure that where there was any malfeasance, human beings will always try. I mean, it's part of, okay, I'm sorry to say, of human nature, that unless there are rules and there's an enforcement of those rules, people always take chances. So SAA suffered a lot out of that. And our mission now has been to recreate South African Airways. We talk of the SAA that emerged since after COVID in 2021 as SAA version 2, grounded on principles of very careful and ethical governance, and with a very, very commercial intent, where the airline is not over-influenced by political decisions, where the operational decisions that we take are based solely with an eye on financial outcomes, and where every staff of South African Airways understand that this is a flag carrier, which within the African continent is one of the most admired flag as a flag carrier of South African Airways. We have noticed to our surprise, Zaina, that South African Airways was more loved and admired when we relaunched outside of South Africa than in South Africa. South Africans were having a debate: should we still have this airline? Should we spend money on it? But immediately we're flying to Accra, to Lagos, to Abidjan, to Lusaka, even to when we launched Lilongwe, Blantyre. People were receiving South African Airways with national jubilation.
All right.
And that really encouraged us. It's one of the things that inspired us as the leadership of South African Airways.
Okay, so based on all the challenges that South African Airways has been through since May 2022, what are the key strategies did you implement to return the airline into profitability?
The major strategy was to chase break-even point, where we ask ourselves, what do we need to break even? How many aeroplanes do we need? Which routes we should fly, and how big should our staff be? Okay, that was the business model re-engineering. Secondly, ensuring that we employ skilled people who know what their job is. And thirdly, just a very serious cost containment, where we ensure that how we buy, how we procure our fuel, how we negotiate our aircraft leases, because most of our aircraft are leased, that we get the right prices on all of those aircraft. But I said again, and emphasizing, reiterating that we are a commercial, we make commercial decisions. We are not influenced by any other influences external to the chase for the financial, positive financial outcomes in the business.